Hello, this is LtBuzzLitebeer back with my second Division II weapon guide. In this episode, we are covering the exotic Eagle Bearer assault rifle, which is based off the real-world AR-15. But before I begin the review of the Eagle Bearer, let's take a look at some basic background information as well as in-game weapon stats for you concerning the AR-15. The country of origin is the United States. The rate of fire is 750 rounds per minute. The magazine holds 60 rounds. The fire type is full auto only, and the reload speed is 2.4 seconds. The Eagle Bearer, also known as the AR-15, is based off the Armalite AR-15, which began design and production in 1956. The Armalite Rifle Model 15, or AR-15, was designed as a lightweight, selective fire rifle for military use, but due to financial problems and production limitations, Armalite sold the design and AR-15 trademark to Colt Manufacturing in 1959. Once Colt's patents expired in 1977, many arms manufacturers emerged with their own semi-automatic AR-15 style rifles, including POF, or Patriot Ordnance Factory, of which you were all familiar with their P416 rifle, currently a favorite of agents of the Division II. The AR-15 featured modular construction to simplify repairs and a distinctive two-part receiver. The lower portion contains the trigger assembly, including the hammer, and is the attachment point for the buttstock. The upper receiver contains the bolt carrier assembly and is attached to the barrel assembly. Sights can be attached to the upper receiver or barrel assembly, and a handguard usually covers the barrel and gas-operated reloading device, which in the case of the AR-15 is the direct gas impingement system. A DGI system vents burnt powder gas back into the bolt carrier assembly, where it expands in a variable volume chamber, forcing the bolt open to eject the spent cartridge case. A buffer spring in the buttstock then pushes the bolt closed, picking up a new cartridge from the magazine. Direct gas impingement, although mechanically efficient, has the large disadvantage of venting unburned smokeless powder residue into the receiver, where it can accumulate and lead to weapon malfunctions. Although most weaponry in the Division games feature a direct real-world counterpart that they are identically modeled after, in the case of the Eagle Bearer, it is more so based on the AR-15 style of rifles and uses small design cues from several different variants, although many agents will immediately categorize it as a heavily customized P416. The Eagle Bearer is extremely rare, and reports have the drop rates at somewhere around the 1 to 10% range for agents who are lucky enough to complete the Dark Hours raid. I was extremely fortunate to have looted my Eagle Bearer on my very first raid completion and immediately started the scripting for this weapon review. Being an exotic weapon, the Eagle Bearer features its own unique weapon talents, starting off with Eagle's Strike, which is quite possibly one of the most elaborate and powerful weapon talents I have seen in a Division game. Eagle's Strike increases accuracy as you continuously fire up to 100%. In addition, headshot kills grant 100% reload speed, 35% damage, and the tenacity buff for 10 seconds. The strength of tenacity is increased by 1% for body shots and 5% for headshots. Tenacity, the second weapon talent, delays 20 to 80% of damage taken until the buff expires. All of the total delayed damage is reduced for each enemy killed while the buff is active, up to 100% with 5 kills. And finally, Protected Fire is the third talent, and it grants 10% bonus armor while having the Eagle Bearer holstered and firing a different weapon. So in basic terms, the Eagle Bearer gains accuracy, reload speed, damage, and damage mitigation for getting kills, and a small armor bonus when you choose to holster it and use another weapon. At the time of publication for this video, I can honestly say that the Eagle Bearer is my favorite exotic weapon and is easily one of the top 2 weapons in the entire game. Now, I was lucky enough to loot one of these ARs on my very first raid completion, and completing the raid is currently the only way to get a chance to have one of these appear for agents to loot. Drop rates are set low, and the current drop percentages are a 1% chance from Razorback and a 10% chance from the Raid Chest, so it may take an agent many raid completions before finally receiving one of these beastly assault rifles. The Eagle Bearer mixes up everything that agents are looking for in a weapon: high base damage, rate of fire, accuracy, bonus damage for kills and headshots, and even damage mitigation, all into a beautifully designed and easy to handle package. Just think of it as a max damage P416 on steroids, and you can imagine what this weapon is like to own and wield in combat. Although the weapon lore texts are lengthy and seem somewhat difficult to understand, they are really quite simple to comprehend as long as you can grasp the golden rule of using an Eagle Bearer, with that being, hold down the trigger. Recoil is really nothing that needs to be accounted for in the Division 2, so it really comes down to smart cover tactics and keeping the crosshairs on your target. The Eagle Bearer with its high base damage and damage buff mechanics will handle all the rest. I would normally provide build recommendations, but this exotic AR can really work with whatever gear you pair it with. Remember to spec into assault rifle damage on your specializations and gloves, along with plenty of armor and all weapon damage. I'm going to rate the 500 gear score exotic Eagle Bearer AR-15 assault rifle a perfect 5 out of 5 stars. My current grading doesn't go over 5 stars, but if it did, the Eagle Bearer would max out that ratings chart as well. The weapon literally feels like the dev team went to the weapon characteristics bin and selected any and every possible positive attribute and slapped them onto this weapon. And I don't mean just some of them, I mean all of them. I know that the known method of looting one of these weapons can be extremely harsh in terms of RNG, but I cannot recommend this weapon enough to anyone who is actively searching. I look forward to reading your thoughts about the exotic Eagle Bearer and my weapon review in the comment section below. If you could take the time to rate the video with a thumbs up or down, it would be greatly appreciated. I have noticed that nearly 3/4 of the viewers that watch my videos are made by non-subscribers, so if you could take a few seconds of your time and pound that sub button, it would be incredible. And don't forget to click the bell icon to receive all notifications from my YouTube channel as I post new content. You can also follow me over on Twitter and look for me on Twitch with weekly streams. Until my next video, this has been LtBuzzLitebeer, signing off.